BBC Radio Derby. So, members of the Writers in the Peak group have teamed up with local photographer Chris Gilbert for their new book. It's called Peak Echoes. It's a collection of short stories, and the Duke of Devonshire, no less, has written the foreword to the book. Here to tell us how they get all these things together. It's a bit like a massive challenge Annika, isn't it? Joyce Janes, Andrea Brittan and Gillian Shimwell. How are you, the three of you?
Very well, thank you.
You've all got smiles on your face, which is good. How do you all come together? When did this group start then, Joyce?
Oh, well, Jill was one of the original members, so she'd probably be better telling you about that.
Yes, well, along with other people, I signed up for a writer's course at Lady Manners School in the evening, adult education, and four of us decided we were a bit odd and not a fit, so we ended up in a pub. Initially it was all, oh, that's lovely. We started to attract other people, and now I think there are over 30 members. They don't always meet every week. And that must be about 7 or 8 years ago now that we started, so we've been going for a while.
Is it because you've all got stories in you? Are you writing fiction or fact? What's going on?
There's a range of writing that people are involved with in the group. We've got script writers, fiction writers, poetry, but yes, the common denominator is a love of words and a love of writing.
Were you all of like mind when you were at school then? Or was it, if this essay is 500 words, I'm writing 500 words, and you didn't like writing?
No, I don't think so. I think we've all come from sort of different angles, really. The one common thing is we all meet at the Writers in the Peak, and we all enjoy writing.
And when you're showing your work around to other people are reading it, is it a nice sort of melting pot to get other ideas in there?
It is. It's quite difficult when you first join and you start reading out. You feel really nervous, but we've all been there, and we're all very supportive, I think, of each other and each other's writing.
So all of these stories, all of these words coming together, who decides, let's do a book?
Oh, Joyce.
Joyce did a lot of the organising, running about, knowing people, because Joyce knows a lot of people. I was grunting about doing a book for years on end, and it just finally happened, you know. When we got enough people who had connections, ideas, bit of organisation, because one of the things about people who are a bit creative is that they just create in a kind of candy floss world, and you need a few people with a sort of a hammer and a set square and a bit of go, and when Joyce joined, the book
suddenly came.
Yes.
Peak Echoes then.
Peak Echoes, yes.
Are you all writing to a brief? Was there something that you said to everybody?
Yeah, we did. It all started with a homework. We have an optional homework each week, and
It does sound like school when you start talking about that.
No, it's not. We couldn't think of another name for it, the homework. And we decided that the Peak District had got such lovely, unusual names, you know, Devil's Elbow and Eagle Stone and Madwoman Stones, things like that, that we would go through the alphabet A to Z and pick a strange place each week, and then we would all write. And one of the most interesting things I thought was when the following week, when we came with our homework and read them out, everybody's stories were so different. You know, you'd get something that was a bit truthful, and then something really bizarre. Yeah, it was really good. So that was sort of the inspiration for the book, really, because we'd got all these stories, and we had hundreds of stories. We started off with 80 stories for the book, and we had to whittle it down to 30, which has not been easy.
And then getting a local photographer involved as well.
Oh, that was quite funny, actually, because I know Chris because I work at Bakewell Visitor Centre, and he's in the gallery upstairs. They've got a gallery of 5 photographers up there, and Chris came in, and I knew his work and liked his work, and said, "We're going to do a book, Chris, about the Peak District. Would you be interested in doing the photographs?" And he said, "Oh, I would." And I said, "Well, we haven't got much money." And he said, "Oh, we can do a deal." And I said, "Well, actually, we haven't got any money." And so he said, "Oh, well, I'll join you then." And so he's given us the photographs free of charge. He's worked with the writers to get a photograph to support their stories, which is suitable and they're happy with. And it's been a brilliant effort from the writers and the photographer as well.
Now we know how it's all come together. We'll talk about getting other people involved with the book after we've heard the new one from George Ezra. Radio Derby. I'm talking to three of the writers in the Peak. There's quite a few of them. I've got Joyce, I've got Andrea and Gillian in front of me. They've just all collectively put this book together called Peak Echoes, filled with lots of stories and teamed up with a local photographer, Chris Gilbert. Don't think, because you've heard the first part, that Chris is free all the time. He's just got in to get with everybody here working away. And that's the whole thing about this, isn't it, Gillian? It's not about you being a professional writer and, oh, look, I've come up with this. It's just basically about people that have an idea and they just want to get it out there.
Yes, we've got a wide diversity of writers, some of whom are professional, some of whom are academic, and some of whom just think, I used to make up stories in my head when I was a kid, but nobody ever listened to me. I wonder if I can do it. And we've had some smashing people come, and everybody surprises us, because all you have to do as a writer, even if you think you can't do it and you might be stuck at home with 3 children, you might be doing a job you don't like much, all you need is a pen and an exercise book from the Everything for a Pound shop. You don't need to buy an instrument, you don't need to buy a camera, you just need to sit down when you're quiet and think, what do I want to write? And you might surprise yourself.
It is. It's all about surprise at the end of the day, isn't it? Because you never know. The authors, the professional authors that I've had on the programme, and they say these characters start to talk to me and all I do is notate it. It's one of those sort of things. We've got the book in front of us, Peak Echoes, and when you see a book like that, it's beautiful cover, beautiful photographs inside it, of course, and all of that prose, you think, oh, it's expensive to put together. But you've been very lucky because you're all in the Peak, and the Peak is helping you produce this book,
That's
isn't it?
right. We have been lucky, and we know that. We've applied for a grant from the Sustainable Development Fund at Peak Park, and they granted us it, which has been, enabled us to be able to print the book. We've had a designer design it, a lady called Cora from Glassball Arts Projects, and we're really pleased with the way it's turned out. So all in all, we've been very lucky, but for our contribution, we've got to do various things for the grant. Some of those things, we're going to organise some workshops where people can just come along, and we're going to have authors there, people giving workshops for them.
It's showing you working out in the margin, isn't it, at the end of the day? It's showing
Yes.
how you do this, and going back to the surprising yourself when you're writing. Tell me how you got the Duke of Devonshire to write the foreword to it then.
We asked him.
Oh, it's as simple as that,
It was
is it?
as simple as that. Yes, it was actually. His PA, Mary, was absolutely brilliant, and I asked her and she said yes.
Did you give him a word count, or was it
No,
free form?
we just left it to him, and he sent us that, and she sent us the electronic signature, and there you go.
Are you getting more of a sense of community by the way that you come together, but now by producing this book? It seems like lots of threads are coming together, doesn't it?
Well, hopefully. I mean, we're hoping that because we've set up a youth group for any kids who are aged 14 to 18, that meets every first Thursday of the month at the Rutland Hotel, where we meet every Thursday. And we've got various links. We've got links to the Bakewell Old House Museum. We're doing events there on the 13th and 14th of December. We've got events arranged for next year. We're doing readings at the Visitor Centre in Bakewell. And as I say, we're going to arrange these workshops. So there's going to be lots happening, all because of the book.
There's no stopping all of it. I mean, 3 of you are here this afternoon. The imagination must be phenomenal. When you come together, do you feel it in the room?
Yeah, sometimes you can definitely get a sense that there's some sort of creative magic going on, and often when we're reading out our own work and commenting on each other's work, someone else will sort of piggyback on an idea and say, oh yeah, you could take it in that direction, and someone will say, oh yeah, that's really good, and I hadn't thought of that, and you do get a sense that creativity is sort of bubbling under in the meetings.
You've got a launch night for the book, haven't you?
We have. It's a launch day, actually. It's on the 29th of November. That's a Saturday, and it'll be from 11 o'clock till 4 o'clock at Bakewell Visitor Centre.
Now, I know you've got a copy of the book in front of you.
Yes.
I can see it there. But do you know when that box turns up and it's full of the books? How do you think you're going to feel?
Ooh. Well, it's brilliant. I mean, we're really pleased with it because we actually think it's a real quality book, and we're because we just really want to get the work out there and advertise the Writers in the Peak and get more people writing. Then we're selling it for $7.50 a book.
So this is going to be the starting point of a whole shelf in many bookshops and many houses across the Peak District. This is volume 1. If people want to get involved, they're hearing all about this today, obviously. But is there a website as well that you run?
We've got a website, WritersInThePeak.wordpress.com, and the details about how to buy the book are on there. You can buy it via PayPal and on the website. It will be in as many shops as we can get it in, and obviously
I've no doubt with the force of what we've got behind it. You know, that people will go, no, it's like, stop me, you've got to go in with it. Is it almost like a limited edition? How big is the print run?
We've got 2,000 books.
And you want to go into a reprint, don't you?
I don't know.
Would it be nice? Would it be nice?
It would be lovely. It would be lovely to go into a reprint.
To come back in here and say, you know what, we're doing a second edition now.
It would.
Well, we'll have to make it happen. That launch day then is the 29th of November. Listen, I wish you all the very best in the world and get all of those other people writing in the Peak District.
Thank you.
When the snow comes, if it's anything like America, you know, use your imagination and get stuff down on paper. Joyce, Andrea and Gillian, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.